Audio's on, camera's on. So it's been a long time since I did a vlog. In fact, I am really behind. I think August is where I left off. And if you don't know, and a lot of you don't care because this really only gets a really small fraction of my audience, this series is just really a journal of my life. And if you've been here for a very long time, we've been through a lot. But this time, I'm gonna do something different because I don't want to be a Brent's Bricks and then wait an entire year to possibly do a video. No excuses. So let's just narrate this through. So starting it off, running. I know. Why are you watching me run? I think I've been running since the very beginning. Adding to my daily ritual, coffee. Hipster coffee is my life. What's the sign of progression in a city? Good coffee. Running, this time with a Lego tee. I'm totally not ashamed of my Lego fandom. RIP Bricks LA. Building this castle was probably a highlight of all of Lego for me in 2022. Every piece of this castle was fun to do. Our new Australian Shepherd, she's a handful. My wife really wanted a lap dog, and I decided on a pretty one again, like Indigo, our late husky, running at night. And with Ezra finally starting school, it is a big step for him, especially for Luna, who doesn't have him for a good majority of the day. More running, this time with Ryan's tea that he gave me from Atlanta Brick Co. I am sweating through this like it's cool. This one was a long run for sure. See, now I'm drenched in sweat. Sorry, it's disgusting. Aw, Penny. I kind of have to enjoy these moments when she's this little because it's going to fly by like it's cool. Running at night, and my boy Justin, or Juan Solo Creations, dropped by the pad to check out the room as he was on his way to the Brickmania store in San Francisco and back. Lego Joey's F-18. Running at night, running in the morning, Lego shopping with new Star Wars Lego sets. Finally was able to get the Republic fighter tank, or more of it. My motorcycle club's annual bonfire. Now, a lot of stuff happens during these. There's some grappling, there's barbecue, there's family. Really, it's just for us to have a good time. We've been doing this like literally every year for the past 12 years. There's just something about a small town feel, and Newhall is just that. And the main reason why we're here is because we get barbecue. But this used to be an old train hub back in the day, and it still keeps that Western feel. Running, once again, sorry. And then Puppy Petty with Luna. Life is literally going by too fast for me. Let me know if it's going too fast for you. Once again, running longer, 3 miles. Now, if you have kids, you give a child markers. It's going to go into one of 3 places. Either the place they're supposed to draw on, furniture, or themselves. Keurig at work. It's not really the best thing to drink for coffee, but it's something. Running, yeah, sorry. Running some more. Running again. Joey's F-18, which you've probably seen a million times by now. But who doesn't play with their Lego? Come on. Let's be real. I know everyone's here done it at least once when you weren't a kid. Bradley, I finally caught drinking water. I rarely see this. The Sanctum. This was a fun build. Not gonna lie. I don't know. There's just something about having a new Lego set in front of a kid. It doesn't matter what it is. They're gonna be intrigued, especially if the box is big. But what I like to do sometimes, since I'm supposed to be teaching my kids math and numbers and letters and reading and writing, blah, 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 is just to have them organize it for me. Anyone else do that? But at the end of the day, this was a fun build. Because not only did I get to build it, Ezra did too. And then when your boy comes over to say we're having a barbecue, well, you just come through. And this time's a bunch of Asian food. And if they say a pool party because it's really, really hot outside for the kids, hey, this isn't an actual pool, but it works. Now, a lot of the homies here I've known since high school. A lot of us with different career paths and jobs and experiences, but now we all have families. We've come a long way from the dumb things we did when we were in high school. Literally, we did some dumb things. But like when you go to a party where there's other children, it's to get your kids so tired out that they fall asleep on the way home, and hopefully they don't wake up when you get to the next destination. And in this case, we just went to another party. And when coming home, Penny, like always, is excited to see us, especially when she's around the tortoise. I don't know. I don't really understand their relationship at this point. They kind of are just here or there. They don't really mind each other too much, but they're really not friends yet. And with a Lego top hat, I can't help myself but put it on top of Bradley's shell. It's just too funny. And since my wife and I work from home the majority of the week, we decided to pick up uplift desks, which are really pricey standing desks. Of course, I had to choose a really expensive one, but they were totally worth it. And remember, you give your children things to color with, it doesn't always end up where it's supposed to be. Veteran parking, of course, it's going to be in front of a Lowe's. I guess I'm included into that lot. But having a desk being put into the office, I had to move a lot of other things around just because it just doesn't fit. And while I did that, Ezra continuously building the Sanctum Sanctorum, he did a good job. I mean, he really enjoyed building the first level and more of this set. But when finally going back into the room, the setup is pretty decent. I still had to move a lot of these around, and if you saw my room tour video, you'll notice that a lot of this really isn't where it's supposed to be current day. Running again, and then I moved the Lion's Castle. It didn't make it from A to B, so I got the opportunity to enjoy the building process all over again. Run some more. Now I'm kind of sad that I didn't take the full advantage of getting Costco Lego prices, but when you go to a store, especially when you know they have Lego, do you go there first? I do. It's like you bring your kids to the toy aisle, but you make them go to the Lego side first, and then they can look at whatever they look at. Because you know if you go anywhere else, they're just going to stay there. Luckily for me, my children love building Lego, so we can get the smaller sets, and I can live vicariously through them with their builds. So again, I'm at the point where I need to move a lot of this out of my office, and ended up going to the garage. Especially this contraption where I house all my backlog Lego. It was just easy to move out of the way so I can move the Cali shelves over. Ezra in soccer. The entire season, he scored 2 goals. And for the most of it, he just ran just to run. He never really took this seriously, and neither did the kids. In fact, at the beginning of the season, none of them wanted to play soccer. But one thing that was cool at every game, which became a tradition for the time, was check out a mom and pop breakfast place. So soccer, breakfast, then building more Lego. And then the wife and I discovered a brewery literally close to our house that we didn't know that existed. So we decided to check it out, and it didn't disappoint. You know, you gotta have these date nights when you can get them, right? Again, going to Target and looking for Lego. So I have a bunch of homemade movies on DVDs that were once filmed on tape, but now we're on DVDs, that I had to figure out how to import them to the computer. So I got this USB drive for CDs or DVDs, running some more. And I also back up a lot of my footage, in fact, most of my footage, into 2 separate hard drives, just in case one hard drive crashes. See, still, I don't know if they're friends yet, but they do kick it with each other, running some more. So I got these castle and western sets in my closet that I eventually took out of the office and moved to the backlog in the garage. Running some more. Editing a video takes a lot of time.
Now that the video's up, it's time to break this down and put back into storage mode.
Once again, Penny and the Tortoise. Running more. This dog just likes to run and mess stuff up all over the house. And one thing that my club and I like to do a lot is pick a time when we're always together. And these are one of those times. Pretty much, we take our time when we hang out with each other. And one of the things I like to do is just share my love of Lego with them as well. Bradley and a strawberry. There's just something about like giving a tortoise fruit. Very satisfying, especially if you're trying to lead them somewhere. Running. Now, keeping Luna off the field was very difficult when watching Ezra play. She continuously always tried to get in the mix and didn't really realize that she wasn't a part of the team. But when given the opportunity, let her have the ball and go play around. Dance party. This is just something my kids like to do. It's starting to become a daily thing at this point. Literally dance all night. Works out because it gets them tired. It's a surreal moment having to take your children to school and drop them off and wish them a good day. I have to cherish these, especially when they're doing homework. Running. Penny's first checkup, finally getting her shots. Ezra's soccer, once again, they sucked. But Ezra tried, and he scored this one. He scored twice. They still lost. So I did Whatnot. I don't know if I'm gonna do it again. It's cool, it's fun, it was an easy way to make a lot of money, but it took a long time to kind of get these orders out. I mean, not really a long time. It was just time that I don't have. So now we're at the air show in Miramar. This is something that happens yearly, I believe, but it's in the Marine Corps Air Base, Miramar. And this was going to be an interesting one because I never brought my children to like a military installation, at least that I can recall. But this time to be able to literally touch huge military aircraft. And it was also cool to reminisce in things that I once experienced myself in my times in the Marine Corps, and to have my family in an area where there's a bunch of Marines around. I mean, technically there's Marines always around my family because a lot of my friends are Marines already. It was pretty interesting. But watching them not really care or be not aware of what's in front of them, of the damage these things can do and how these things are protecting our skies, is grounding. But I loved being here. Remember, I joined the Marine Corps because of the F-18, and I got to finally see them really up close. Now, I've seen these guys in action. I've seen them maneuver in the sky. I've spoken to some of them in the air. But for the most part, I never really got to touch them. Also, I got to have my wife see a CH-53E Super Stallion for the first time. The helicopter that brought me into where I was supposed to be in Afghanistan and out, where I've thrown up twice. but is also the actual vehicle of my favorite Brickmania set. Also the Osprey. I've never really seen these up close. I only saw them like in the sky, and they came around when I was getting out. We saw them experiment with them in Afghanistan. They weren't in use, but they were flying around. So it was also cool to see these up close and personal. I actually get to touch it. That was the thing. We got to touch these things. I got to slap an F-18. And all these showbirds, a showbird is pretty much the one F-18 or one aircraft within a squadron that's like that belongs to the commander or the best pilot or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a part of the wing, but they painted all nice and pretty. But since we're on a Marine base, the Marines also showed off the ground side as well, and to include these LAVs, which Justin or Juan Solo Creations is a part of down here. And also, these are the things that I fought with when I was in Afghanistan. Both the M777s and the LAVs were right next to each other. It was pretty much that time of my life. So my kids got to see that. Oh yeah, Humvees too. You can't get away from Humvees. Aside from the Tom Cruise Maverick impersonator riding around, the Blue Angels. Now, I've only seen these guys once in my life, but they are so cool. Just having 6 F-18s flying around in very tight formation, there's just something surreal about it. I know we do with a motorcycle, but there's nothing close to this. And since I'm already down here, I had to go into Brickmania store. Running some more, dropping off the packages from Whatnot to the post office at the gym. So yeah, I never really record myself like working out with the weights, just because I'll just do the running because it's very easy to do because I just put it in front of me and hit record. Running at a different gym. Penny does not like the leash, but Luna does like to walk her. And it is kind of funny to watch him do it. Now, these tacos weren't made by the run-of-the-mill taco guy. This definitely had a chef's hipster flair to it. Everyone's having children now. We're at this point now where we have other people in our lives. Ezra's soccer time. He just likes to run around. Occasionally he'll kick the ball. Usually just lets the other kids do all the work. They don't win this one. $100 for gas. It's dance party time. And Luna loves to dance. We're literally looking for a studio that has classes for children because, like her parents, she loves to dance. Running some more. Look, I'm a show off lifting with weights. Soccer, they don't win. I mean, I was able to film this time because the wife was with me. OTM. Now, this is my favorite restaurant in Los Angeles. It is so good. And since my wife and I have been married, we've made it a tradition to visit our wedding venue every year around our anniversary. Now, we have a kind of a cool little relationship going on. They walk us around with all the new things that they're building, what they've added, what they've taken away, how their lives have been in the entire year, and they literally watch us grow and also have our children run around them as well. So after we visit the venue, we kind of go around to the local town. This time around, after getting the barbecue, which I love so much because I love barbecue, we ended up back at a pumpkin patch because we needed to stock up on pumpkins. So we had the kids choose out what they wanted, especially from this patch because all the cool stems. Take some cute little photos with these giant cutouts and find more pumpkins. Have you ever got a base plate that's bent? Well, this came bent. I don't like building from these digital instructions. They are not fun, but this building came together pretty well. I like it.
I'm also watching this other documentary on Netflix. It's like Street Food USA. It's in LA, and this makes me like really proud to like live here because it's focusing on a lot of food that I kind of grew up with, like Mexican food, Filipino food, and soul food. So it's I'm hungry.
Running some more, editing a short / reel / TikTok. This is how much work goes into just one of the Cali Brickclick ones. It's a lot. Watching the kids play soccer again. Having them try so hard. I gotta give it to them. They are kind of getting better working as a team, but in the end of the day, they lose. Having to find a Halloween costume. While doing so, I realized to myself that I'm gonna be in so much trouble because this one is gonna cause me problems later in life. Already know it. She has my heart, that's for sure. But Ezra finally finding one of these dinosaur costumes. I don't know how long it was gonna take for him to finally wear one, but now's the time. She has so many princess dresses, not by choice, it's just because people give them to her for her birthday and or presents, and that's all she wants to wear, is any type of Disney princess. Something that I didn't want at all, but that's what her liking is, and well, that's what it's gonna be. So Mr. Bookie Boo and Heather's Bricks had this SoCal AFOL event, and I finally got to see his Lego city. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It inspired me to work on my own city. Even though I have a lot of these sets, not only in the city, but around his Lego room, it is really cool to see in a different perspective, displayed in a different way, but getting to see how his Lego works, his mocks, his displays, and conversations with other AFOLs that were in the event. Thanks, Mark. Running some more. The Razor Crest, the Black Panther bus, which I really want, and eventually did get. The train, not really interested. Still cool nonetheless, but every time we go into a Lego store, it's only inevitable for me to buy something for the children, let alone myself. Penny, still on a leash, not loving it at all.
Look how clean you are.
Another soccer game against the best team in the league. They don't win, sadly. So there's this place nearby. It's called the Discovery Cube. It's pretty much a good place for your kids to learn about certain things around our environment and how things work. In this case, it was for a birthday party. Ezra finally gets to display his costume, let alone ours. And the wife and I decided to be steampunk, really because I found this top hat and mask. But this one, a lot of my club brothers were there, and we had a good time, especially because we brought our family and piñatas.
Luna, go ahead. Hit it. Go hit it. You're scared?
And then our local pumpkin patch had these giant inflatable obstacle courses, slides, and jumpers. And also right now, Luna's obsessed with Taylor Swift, mainly anti-hero. Running some more. Running again. There's just something about the LA skyline that is just always home to me. But every year, there's this event called Lucha Vavoom. It's Mexican wrestling or luchador fighting. But this one has a very pinup lowrider / hot rod feel to it, very rockabilly. And it's funny to watch some of these wrestlers who've been around for over a decade lose their steam. I mean, you can definitely tell the age, and it's kind of funny to watch, but they're still going at it, and hats off to them. Also, Drew Carey was one of the hosts in this one. Well, he's a Marine, so naturally, we got to take a picture together. Dirty Dogs. If you know, you know. Once again, these kids try very hard, and now they're actually playing the game like they're supposed to. Sadly, these kids don't win. So on Halloween, the main street in Monrovia shuts everything down, and there's trick-or-treating available from all these stores and all the restaurants, to include all local vendors. They just come around and all the kids can visit and have this huge, safe trick-or-treating party. I feel like there's just too many people here, and I get a little antsy when I'm around this big of a crowd. Unfortunately, Ezra's dinosaur costume didn't last, and he had to just wear a costume that doesn't fit him anymore, so he was Miles Morales. Running some more, so we're finally here. We'll have to drop off Penny at this dog resort. I have to run one more time and get a haircut for both myself and Ezra, because in the next one, we're going to Mexico, and I'm not looking forward to it.